Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan battle video, and today we are going to do a showcase on the EZA STR Vegeta. So we got 3 Vegetas that just EZA'd on Global. I'm going to take a look at this STR one first, because this was the one I was kind of the most excited about. He's pretty much a counterpart to the AGL Blue Goku who EZA'd a long time ago. I think one of the problems with this unit though is like, his kit is almost the same as the Goku. And the Goku had a good kit, but the problem is the Goku came out way longer ago, right? This Vegeta is going to be putting up better units than the Goku, but I don't think he's going to be looking that much better. And we're going to see him side by side because they're like best linking partners for each other. So we'll kind of see him. I don't know. I think this guy suffers from a couple of problems, but we'll talk about it as we go through. But let's go ahead and take a look at his kit here. So leader skill, not really a factor, just an 80% to all stats. Super attack effect, he does get attack and defense for 1 turn, does supreme damage and lowers defense. And then his passive, he gets attack and defense 130 while performing a super, key 3 and additional attack and defense 70, and all allies' chance of performing a crit 7%, and defense 30 when all allies attacking in the same turn are Realm of Gods. So the thing with these Vegetas is they did give them each like very specific teams that they want to be on. And this one wants to be on a full Realm of Gods team, right? So basically, yeah, I think that whole second part of his passive, you have to be on Realm of Gods. So if this guy isn't on Realm of Gods, I think his passive is just attack and defense 130, which is really bad. So you have to put this guy on a Realm of Gods team. Now, it doesn't have to be a full Realm of Gods team depending on how you're playing him, as long as you can ensure he's always only on rotation with Realm of Gods units, and we'll see that. But with Realm of Gods, he gets key 3 and then attack and defense 70 and all allies crit chance and defense, right? So, I mean, he becomes a support unit, which is cool. So just quickly to counteract that, this is the Goku, who the kit is basically the same, it's just the numbers are different, right? So Goku gets attack and defense 100 instead of 130, and then he gets attack and defense 59 instead of 70, and then all allies crit and then 20% attack, and then Vegeta's giving defense, but otherwise their kit is the same. So Vegeta's numbers are just a little bit higher, a little bit 30% on the while performing an attack, and then another, what, 11% on the additional there. So it's not crazy. Now, Vegeta will look better because the on super will get exemplified a little bit because of how it calculates in, but really, the thing is I knew this Vegeta was going to be a counterpart to the Goku. They just should have released him a lot sooner, if not at the same time as the Goku, right? The thing is all these Vegetas that we're going to be doing showcases on, they all have Goku counterparts that EZA'd like earlier. So why not just EZA the Vegeta and Gokus together rather than do all the Gokus and then all the Vegetas? To me, that would make more sense, because then they're going to try to build the Vegeta kit closer to an outdated unit. So that's something I'm not a fan of, right? But anyways, that's pretty much the passive. I haven't put any equips on him, but there he's full level 10 links. And then he's got tons of teams, right? But the thing is, you look at all this, but really it's a lot more limited in that. Now, you're not limited to just a Realm of Gods quote-unquote leader, but it has to be a leader that you can get full Realm of Gods on it, which there are a lot of options for this guy, right? So what we're running him on is the Vegeta and Trunks team because he is on Battle of Fate. So he will get the 200% here. There are a lot of Realm of Gods units within Bond of Parent and Child and Future Saga, right? So we can definitely get Realm of Gods on there. Now, Vegeta and Trunks themselves, I do not believe are Realm of Gods because it has Trunks on the card, right? Yeah, they are not because Trunks is not a Realm of Gods. So for the showcase, I'm just going to keep Vegeta and Trunks together on a rotation, but all my floating units are going to be Realm of Gods. So in this case, we're fine as long as you keep the rotation separate. I'm going to be running, this guy's a Realm of Gods defensive support. This guy's going to be as an orb changer. And then this guy's super old, terrible, outdated, but I had to try really hard to get Realm of God specific supports that still fit on the team. So this guy's a 30% attack and defense support, provided I have enough Vegeta family, which I do, so we should be good. So our first turn is going to be pretty good. Now we are getting supported a lot defensively here, but we're not getting any attack support other than what Goku's giving. So you can see start to turn, these units are very parallel, right? 168 for Vegeta, 162 for Goku. The difference is on Super, remember Vegeta's getting 130, Goku's only getting 100. So Vegeta's going to have definitely a little bit better stats, but not like crazy different. So if we calculate this out, right? Once again, 130% on so 168 is really bad on, on starter. It's 166 that he's at. Now you add 130% to that, so you essentially double it and then another 30% of what you originally had. I mean, it's going to be like 400-ish K defense, which is okay, right? Like this Vegeta, and I would say for a unit like this that's going to be probably more likely to be a floating support unit, if you can get like 400k defense and survive normals in red zone, like I'll take it. He's definitely not going to be tanking supers though, right? So let's see what happens here. We'll let Goku attack. I'm kind of curious on the attack numbers. That's kind of what I want to see here. Well, how are we looking here? 5.5, okay. So 5.5 is good for like a floating support, but like he's not going to be hitting that in typical situations because the thing is with this Goku, they're getting Resurrection F specific links, and there's 2 of them. I think it's Resurrection F and Super God Combat. Those links provide a lot. Without those, they're not doing nearly as much. Now, the AGL Goku we just saw, I thought was really crazy on release because he came out a long time ago, and a support unit like that on Realm of Gods, which was a better team at the time, putting up a 5 mil attack stat for a support unit was actually kind of crazy. Now you look at that 5 mil, and it's not nearly as impressive, right? Because if I really want the Vegeta to look like this, you kind of have to have him on rotation with those Resurrection F links, and it's not really happening. Now, the reason why they released him is he does pair really well with the Resurrection F duo that came out, right? Like the Int Goku and Vegeta. Now, I don't have them, but obviously on that team, that's really where he's meant to be used. So yes, linked up with them, he's going to be getting Super God Combat, and I think that's really where you want to use him. And he is going to be providing good support. It's just, it kind of means, though, you would have to set up your whole team to be Realm of Gods, and do you want to do that? Or you link them up with a different Realm of Gods unit, and then the Vegeta floats, and then he's always going to hit Realm of Gods as a floater. So I think there is some use on that Resurrection F Vegeta Goku team. It's just, Resurrection F Vegeta and Goku are kind of known as one of the not as good Dokkan Fest of the year. So do you want to run them as a leader? Are people, like, it's a team that phased out very quick. Like, I mean, let's be honest. And with the power creep of the Gammas and Piccolo and Ultimate Gohan, like that team's almost a non-factor now already, right? So it's like the team this guy was meant for has already basically been phased out. Now who knows? Anniversary could bring us a bunch. It could be Realm of Gods up the wazoo and 200% Realm of Gods Carnival LR, more units with Super God Combat. Who knows, right? So he could be more relevant, but like the use I see for this guy is more as like a floating support unit. And not so much as an on-rotation unit, because he just doesn't have the numbers to back it up, right? When you got units like this Easy A Broly, who people don't think is good, can put up quad 9 mil attack stats. Do you want this doinky little 5 mil attack stat? Probably not. Let's take a look here now. We have a different support. So you can see our defense dropped because the other support we had, which was Zamasu and Gowasu, they're a 70% defense support. So you can see the defense now dropped, so now we're even lower. Now we're going to be looking at like maybe 350k defense, which is actually kind of underwhelming. But we are going to get attack support, so our attack should look a little bit better here, right? So we'll see. But yeah, this is a unit that I was like really anticipating, and then now he's basically, by the time we got him, he's already phased out. Yeah, 6.5. Now we're kind of cooking for like a banner unit. I mean, that's a lot better, and we get the additional at 6.7. Like, that's looking really nice. You know, and he gets, like, I think a 30% defense raise from his super attack effect, so sure. And then this Goku at 5.75, like, sure, this is a nice, cute little rotation, but it's not something you're realistically going to be able to use in, like, super difficult content. If you want to use these guys together for fun and, like, 90% of the game, like, they're going to be fine, right? It's a fun little rotation. But when we're truly evaluating units, we do have to think about that really hard content. And this is a unit that I talked about this, I think, a little bit on the podcast this week, but all of these Vegeta EZAs kind of exemplify one of the problems with the games not being synced up. And that is, when these Vegetas came out on JP, it was months ago, and even then they were like kind of just okay, right? So the problem is now on Global, we're getting them months later, and since then, because we get joint celebrations with JP, we're getting units almost ahead of schedule, right? Like, units like Piccolo and the Gammas, because they're joint celebrations, they got to fit in with JP's timeline, who is like 6 to 8 months ahead of us. So that's the meta they fit into. Now we're getting units that fit in the JP's meta 6 to 8 months ago, but we're getting them now as brand new units, and they are super underwhelming because we've already seen the power creep that JP didn't have when they came out, right? If you think back to when Vegeta and Goku, the Resurrection F Int unit, came out in JP at that time, Like, they're promoting a new unit. Like, oh yeah, this team is fun to use. You would have used this Vegeta for a while on that team and had some fun with them. On Global, it's like, they're going to sit in my box and rot, right? Here, let's get one more turn, and then we'll call it a showcase. So here's a non-supported turn. When we're not fully decked out supported. Now we're down to 120k defense. So he's pushing to even get 300k defense post-super. Like, this Legendary Vegeta event can actually tear this unit up. You almost have to give him a full dodge build to have any hope of bringing him into hard content, right? Like, the passive, they just... look at 55k normal, and then we're doing a 5.5 mil. Who cares if I'm going to get absolutely blasted? Like, at least with physical Broly, like, he might get blasted from, like, a super, but he can put up 40 mil in a turn. Like, he's, you know, like, he has a role. Like, he's a DPS unit. This unit just is, and here's the thing, he's not even, like, a full-on support unit that he's, like, your most desirable, right? He's giving you defense and crit chance, which is cool, but from a good support unit, you want, like, 3 key 40% attack and defense. Minimum, right? Like, especially if you're going to put a defensive liability on the team. So anyways, guys, I'm going to say this is a unit that actually impressed me less going through the showcase. A lot of times I'll go in with lower expectations and kind of be impressed, but I'm going to say I'm kind of even more down on this unit after the showcase. I mean, you guys can let me know what you think. And like I said, he's a fun little unit you can run on some Realm of Gods builds and, like, a lot of the content in the game, right? But I'm just kind of mad at Dokkan in general for waiting so long on some of these units. Like, AGL Golden Frieza is going to be fine because he was so overly busted that we're getting him late. But, like, some of these units, like Raditz was another example, right? Like, he was just a joke. Like, no reason to summon. So, like, if this Vegeta, they're trying to sell him as a summonable unit, absolutely not. Nobody would buy into that because it took us so long. And they didn't even release him during the Dokkan Fest celebration that we should have gotten him in. So it's kind of mind-boggling to me. They waited even longer than they should have. And yeah, well, I shouldn't say these Vegetas. This is my first showcase. Let me look at the other two. There could be better uses. I have to look at their teams. But for this Vegeta right now, man, he's basically going to be a dust collector. So yeah, now we got the Mega Defense rotation. Let's get one more attack stat, but we really shouldn't see anything too different. Or, like, we're going to see like a 5 mil attack stat, right? 5.5. Show me that 5.5. All right, we're going to take a super. Now, this is type advantage. I guarantee he's still going to take damage here. We've got type advantage. What do we take? Yeah, 127k with type advantage on a very old, outdated event that is nowhere near power creep. This Vegeta is like a boss in Red Zone is going to flick their finger and this Vegeta is going to explode off the page, right? So anyways, let me know what you think of this STR Vegeta. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.